Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Finance Zone. Microvision is a pioneering company in MEMS-based laser beam scanning technology that integrates MEMS lasers, optics, hardware, algorithms, and machine learning software into its proprietary technology to address existing and emerging markets. Our integrated approach uses our proprietary technology to provide solutions for automotive LiDAR sensors, augmented reality microdisplay engines, interactive display modules, and consumer LiDAR modules. Is the stock a buy? In order to reach an opinion and communicate the value and volatility of a covered security, analysts research public financial statements, listen in on conference calls, and talk to managers and the customers of a company, typically in an attempt to come up with findings for a research report. However, the analyst rating scale is a tad trickier than the traditional classifications of buy, hold, and sell. The Microvision stock price fell by 10.4% on the last day, Tuesday, 23 February 2021. From $18.07 to $16.19, and now has fallen 3 days in a row. During the day, the stock fluctuated 23.3% from a day low at 13.91 to a day high of 17.15. The price has been going up and down for this period, and there's been a 9.99% gain for the last 2 weeks. Volume has increased on the last day by 5 million shares, but on falling prices. This may be an early warning, and the risk will be increased slightly over the next couple of days. In total, 15 million shares were bought and sold for approximately $243.25 million. Microvision's announcements include it getting all of the parts it needs to complete a working sample by its April estimate. The company is developing a long-range LiDAR sensor that it believes will meet or exceed requirements for automotive companies for automotive vehicles. According to Microvision CEO Sumit Sharma, the company's new sensor will have a range of 250 meters. It will also be sporting the highest resolution of any LiDAR. All of this primes it to be a sought-after component from auto manufacturers. To go along with all of this, Microvision also says that its long-range LiDAR sensor will be relatively cheap to make. This will have it achieving a scale at a price of less than $1,000 ASP. The company says that it's a key component of the long-range LiDAR sensor being a commercial success. How do you choose a stock? Some people talk about investing as if it's a click-the-button decision. That's often a too simplistic view, especially when it comes time to, invest, because you'll eventually have to figure it out. Okay, so what exactly should I invest in? It's a dilemma first-time investors and grizzled veterans alike encounter with seemingly endless possibilities. In the US, there are more than 4,000 publicly traded stocks, 9,000 plus mutual funds, and more than 2,000 exchange-traded funds. Not to mention an array of viable options and futures trades. All roads lead to a common goal: growing your money over time. Though individual journeys vary, depending on investment style, interests, objectives, and how actively you intend to manage your investment portfolio. Signals and forecast. The Microvision stock holds a sell signal from the short-term moving average. At the same time, however, there is a buy signal from the long-term average, since the short-term average is above the long-term average. There is a general buy signal in the stock given a positive forecast for the stock. On future gains, the stock will meet resistance from the short-term moving average at approximately $19.23. On a fall, the stock will find some support from the long-term average at approximately $10.46. A breakup through the short-term average will send a buy signal, whereas a breakdown through the long-term average will send a sell signal. Furthermore, there's a buy signal from the 3-month Moving Average Convergence Divergence, MACD. Some negative signals were issued as well, and these have some influence on the near short-term development. $50 million at the market. Microvision Inc., NASDAQ Mvis, a leader in MEMS-based solid-state automotive LiDAR and microdisplay technology for augmented reality, announced it entered into a $50 million at-the-market ATM equity offering agreement with Craig-Hallum Capital Group, LLC, Craig-Hallum. Under the agreement, Microvision may, from time to time, at its discretion, offer and sell shares of its common stock having an aggregate value of up to $50 million through Craig-Hallum. Microvision intends to use the net proceeds from the ATM of any general corporate purpose, which may include, but are not limited to, working capital and capital expenditures as Microvision pursues a potential strategic transaction. High potential of growth ahead. According to research by Allied Market Research, the global LiDAR market was valued at $7.2 million in 2019 and is projected to reach $2.9 billion by 2027, growing at a CAGR of 20.1% from 2020 to 2027. LiDAR technology is utilized by the vast majority of companies that are developing autonomous driving technology, which is often associated with electric vehicles. According to another research by Research and Markets, the global autonomous driverless car market was valued at $240.1 billion in 2019 and is expected to project a CAGR of 18.6 during 2020 to 2025. The autonomous car market estimated to reach $60 billion by 2030. Thus, the potential growth in revenue, once in development by the LiDAR sensors, if completed, is a big one. Forward-looking statements. Certain statements contained in this release, including those related to use of proceeds from the financing the company's future products, progress on development, pursuit of a strategic transaction, building value for shareholders, strengthening the company balance sheet, and product applications and statements using words such as believe and plan, are forward-looking statements that involve a number of risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results to differ materially from those in forward-looking statements. Factors that could cause actual results to differ materially from those projected in such forward-looking statements include the risk that the company may not succeed in finding licensing or other strategic solutions, including a potential sale of the company, with acceptable timing, benefits, or costs, our ability to operate with limited cash and to raise additional capital when needed, market acceptance of our technologies and products, or for products incorporating our technologies, the failure of our commercial partners to perform as expected under our agreements, including from the impact of COVID-19 coronavirus, our ability to identify parties interested in paying any amounts or amounts we deem desirable for the purchase or license of intellectual property assets, or our customers' failure to perform under open purchase orders, our financial and technical resources relative to those of our competitors, our ability to keep up with rapid technology change, government regulation of our technologies, our ability to enforce our intellectual property rights and protect our proprietary technologies, the ability to obtain additional contract awards and develop partnership opportunities, the timing of commercial product launches and delays in product development, the ability to achieve key technical milestones and key products, dependence on third parties to develop, manufacture, sell, market our products, potential product liability claims, our ability to maintain our listing on the NASDAQ stock market, and other risk factors identified from time to time in the company's SEC reports, including the company's annual report on Form 10-K with the SEC. These factors are not intended to represent a complete list of general or specific factors that may affect us. It should be recognized that other factors, including general economic factors and business strategies, may be significant now or in the future, and the factors set forth in the release may affect us to a greater extent than indicated. Except as expressly required by federal securities laws, we undertake no obligation to publicly update or revise any forward-looking statements, whether as a result of new information, future events, changes in circumstances, or any other reason. Microvision senses a possible win. Shares of Microvision were up 31% on Thursday. The maker of technology for potential use in autonomous driving made an announcement that got investors' attention late Wednesday afternoon. Microvision reported that it has gathered together the components and equipment it needs to reach its maximum milestone for its planned long-range LiDAR sensor. Having spent 2 years developing the sensor, Microvision believes that the finished product will achieve the standards that automakers will set for the autonomous driving systems in terms of safety and useful features. CEO Sumit Sharma gave some details on what the system will be able to achieve. Microvision's LiDAR should have a range of at least 250 meters with better resolution than other LiDAR options. The system will also be able to measure relative velocity with output coming at 30 cycles per second. Moreover, the company sees the system being relatively affordable, with the potential cost coming below $1,000 once production reaches scale. Microvision has largely been speculative stock and has taken off lately beyond hopes for autonomous driving applications. Microvision shareholders need the LiDAR system to work and work well in order to justify recent gains. Whatever you do, stay on course. Regardless of what you decide to invest in, it's important to maintain consistency by making regular contributions and tweaking your strategy over time as necessary. With any new investment you consider, make sure you understand how it works before plopping down money, and never sacrifice the pillars of your portfolio in the progress. But by all means, have some fun. Stay engaged in the management of your portfolio will ensure that you stay invested for the long haul. Feel free to leave us a comment down below. We'd love to hear your view.